Hi, everyone. Okay, it is April 9, 2021. I have some crazy stuff to go over and some important stuff to go over. And I didn't spend much time organizing my pages, so I don't think it much matters. Let's just take the deep dive. And I want to thank my subscriber for sending this along. It's really heartbreaking, a heartbreaking sign of the times in isolation wards where patients die alone, craving the touch of their loved ones. Nurses fill gloves with warm water to simulate that comfort, and they call it the hand of God. Whoa. This is our world. This is what life is today. YouTube removes Governor DeSantis' video where he had a public health roundtable with those doctors, those experts on infectious disease who, I'm okay. The censorship now, you're almost afraid to say this. And if you don't know what that is, look into it, because highly respected, renowned around the world doctors came up with a declaration that read it. Reading is a good thing. So, that was enough to get DeSantis' video taken down. And I believe I posted on Odysee, library, but those videos were transferred to Odysee. This is a recent post, my latest post on Odysee. Dr. Cole, CEO and Medical Director, Cole Diagnostics. And he said this, but he also said that. Vitamin D, vitamin D, vitamin D. It's a very good, relatively short video, and he has a lot of very important things to say, so I will link to this below. Let me see if I can get to my... this is oh, no. This is Odysee. Okay. I thought I was back on library. But let me just see. Yes, here. The full roundtable, Governor DeSantis with Dr. Scott Atlas and Dr. Gupta, Bhattacharya, and Cullors. They say a lot of very good things, so it's off YouTube, but it's right here on Odysee. Okay, so I will link below also to, I guess I haven't changed it. Underneath my video, it still says library.tv, my channel. Library moved all of their videos to Odysee. Okay, so I'll change it. All right, please take a look at these videos. Really important, and I'm going to be posting more videos on Odysee. Very important information, very tragic, heartbreaking information, very important for everyone to know, but you can't post it on YouTube because we're no longer that free country. Now, Frederick Forsyth says government has launched campaign of mass fear against British public. The iconic author says it reminds him of how East Berliners were treated in the 1960s. So, I posted a video on this, an article published in the Telegraph, which exposed the covert tactics being used by the British government to frighten the public into complying with COVID regulations. The article quoted a retired NHS, that's the UK's, the British Health Service. Article quoted a retired NHS consultant clinical psychologist who warned that there was growing concern within my field about using fear and shame as a driver of behavior change. Well, fear and shame is being used a whole lot all over the world, and Western nations, all of them, using psychological covert tactics to get people to behave the way they want them to behave. Oh, sounds crazy, but all you need to do is a little bit of research to find that out. Gary Sidley and 46 of his colleagues wrote to the British Psychological Society to express concerns about the activities of government-employed psychologists. The letter states that the UK government is deploying covert psychological strategies that operate below the level of people's awareness to nudge citizens to conform to a contentious and unprecedented public health policy. Frederick Forsyth, author of classic thrillers such as The Day of the Jackal, The Odysee File, well, he wrote to the Telegraph to express his alarm about how the British public have been terrorized by lockdown propaganda. The red is what he said. Congratulations to the Telegraph and Gordon Rayner for revealing that the campaign of mass fear that reduced a once brave nation to trembling terror was deliberately organized to secure obedience to the policy of lockdown. I have only once before seen anything like it. This was when I was posted to East Germany in 1962. Such a brainwashing tactic was employed to frighten East Berliners into believing that the Berlin Wall was a defensive measure to protect them from tiny West Berlin, and that the Stasi was their guardian. The wall was, of course, an instrument of enslavement. I never thought that the government of a country whose uniform I once wore with such pride would sink so low. Those responsible should be identified without delay and ousted from all office over us. We need the people on our side. And unfortunately, in our respective Western countries, we're still a minority. There's a lot of us, but we're still a minority. That's the problem. So, the European Court of Human Rights ruled just last week that democratic governments can make vaccinations obligatory in a landmark judgment rejecting complaints brought by Czech families penalized for refusing compulsory jabs for their children. Experts say it could have implications for the COVID-19 vaccination policies. The reason why it's implications for COVID-19 vaccines, because the lawsuit cases were lodged between 2013 and 2015. That's why I've said lawsuits take years and years, and we don't have that time. But this is the European Court of Human Rights. Well, I have seen many international institutions clearly infiltrated with those who are happy to assist the globalist turning the world into a tyranny. So, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Yeah. Because if we don't have people in these positions who are just, who are sane, but ruling for those tyrants, we're lost. We're gone. And I think many of you will agree. We're gone. The objective has to be that every child is protected against serious diseases through vaccination or by virtue of herd immunity. It's necessary in a democratic society, the court ruled. The Czech health policy was consistent with the best interests of children. The court ruled there had been no violation of Article 8 of the right to respect for private life of the European Convention on Human Rights. Czech authorities were fully consistent with the rationale of protecting the health of the population. All right, well, you can read on, but that's a mighty big loss. So Canada to censor political taunts. Woo! Aren't we becoming China? Yeah. Okay. From the party apparatchiks. Yeah. All right. The Federal Heritage Minister Steve Guebalt, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Wow. Okay, federal internet censors should target hurtful words against politicians. That's what Stephen says. The minister added, pending regulations may include an internet kill switch to block websites deemed hurtful. Oh, Stephen, come on, you can take it. I mean, nobody goes into the political world and thinks that they're not going to be criticized. Oh, right. Oh, Carol, so we're not in free societies anymore. We're in tyrannies. And that's what they do in tyrannies. Ah, okay. All right. So we have seen too many examples of public officials retreating from public service due to the hateful online content targeted towards themselves or even their families. I have seen firsthand, alongside other Canadians, the damaging effects harmful content has on our families, our values, and our institutions. As a dad and a stepdad of 6 kids, I know more can and should be done to create a safer online environment. So these remarks were made in a podcast sponsored by Canada 2020, an Ottawa think tank affiliated with the Liberal Party. What a surprise. Legislation to censor internet content will be introduced shortly, he said. Woo! He's right out there. He's right out there. We're going to censor the internet. And by the way, I didn't pull this page up. I bookmarked it. Canada, the government, will regulate the internet. That's coming. So, I am confident we can get this adopted once the legislation is adopted, clearly creating a new body, a new regulator like that in Canada. The goal? Silence non-conformity content. Oh, we are heading full speed into that tyranny that's going to really hurt. And it's going to be hurtful. Can't we censor those who are hurting us? No, we cannot. End the hygiene theater, CDC says. Oh, hygiene theater. It's time to unplug the sanitizing robots and put away the bottles of Clorox that seem to line the entrances to every school, restaurant, and supermarket. wanting to advertise its safety protocols. While such protocols may be reassuring to an anxious populace, they are not necessary, says the CDC. They're not necessary. Why'd you put them in your friggin' guidance? Okay, they're not necessary. It is possible for people to be infected through contact with contaminated surfaces or objects, but the risk is generally considered to be low. So you got schools all over the world doing all of this shit, and they've been doing it for over a year, and now you come out and say, put it aside. This is not right. Okay, this is really not right. It's not. Okay? Oh, it's considered to be low. Lower than 1 in 10,000. And despite growing certitude about how the pathogen is transmitted, many establishments have continued to insist on strict sanitizing protocols. It is amazing. You know, you lift a mask mandate in a state like Montana, and it doesn't matter. You still see people wearing the mask. CDC, hey, come on. Just stop it. Even though the CDC, they put details in their guidance for schools and offices. And now they come out and say, oh, it was silly. It was silly. Don't be a schmuck. Put it away. Come on. And yet, people are still doing it. Well, clearly, the programming worked. Because even the programmers who then come out and say, all right, enough is enough. People are still programmed. Success. Venezuela mayor marks homes of COVID patients with red symbol. Wow. Okay. Mayor in central Venezuela has begun placing red warning symbols on the homes of people with COVID-19 and has also threatened to cut welfare handouts for those breaking quarantine. Oof. We are protecting people. We're protecting people. This indicates that there is a COVID case or suspected COVID case. So the people are alert. Wow. Nothing like telling the public your business. Okay. World Economic Forum promotes smart mask that sends alerts if you don't wear it. Okie dokie. And people think that this is going to end. They're coming up with all of these new gadgets and new technology, all these new masks, and it's not going to end. It's too profitable for it to end. Where is that video? Here. Did the World Economic Forum just admit that masks have a CO2 buildup inside, and that's not good because that's when you need to take it off and breathe fresh air. How many people will catch that? Don't know. Okay. Google says Bill Gates is the most powerful doctor in the world. Woo! Okay. That was back in 2017. Do you remember that? This man is so, God, repulsive. It's, a search for who is the most powerful doctor in the world. Google provided the answer. It was Bill Gates. Oh, yeah. Billy. That was a Politico article. Wow. Do you think that in 2017, I don't want to see his face anymore. You think in 2017 Politico wrote this article? Oh, maybe Billy gave Politico some money, but it was to get people to actually believe he was the most powerful doctor in the world. And then we've got a pandemic and people actually listen to him. Okay, there's a lot of slack or flack or, that he got. Google, who is the most powerful doctor in the world? Then come back and call me a crazy conspiracy theorist. Oh. In 2017, it was still okay to criticize Holy Gates. He is treated like a head of state, not only at the World Health Organization. Of course he's treated like that at the World Health Organization because he's the top donor of the World Health Organization. But also at the G20, Geneva-based NGO representative Politico, mind you. How much difference a few years of intensive bribing can make. We've lost a year of our lives. Lockdowns, economic hardship, schools closed, students falling behind, suicides on the rise, mask Nazis. How did we get here? Start with the climate mogul, Bill Gates. Sway over the World Health Organization, Dr. Gates. Man, are we fools? We are such fools. This guy bribes his way through life. And people think that because mainstream media, just puts him on a pedestal and gives him tremendous accolades all the time, that he's worthy of it. Money speaks. Money speaks, darling. Don't you know that? U.S. grant to Wuhan lab to enhance bat-based coronaviruses was never scrutinized. Okay. This article is about the corruption of none other than another face that I can't stand looking at because it's way too repulsive. But let me just give you two paragraphs. The National Institute of Health grant that involved the modification of bat-based coronaviruses and the transfer of $600,000 to the Wuhan Institute of Virology prior to the pandemic bypassed a very important review, P3CO, because the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, led by none other than Anthony Fauci, didn't flag the project for review. Oops. An oversight board created to scrutinize research that would enhance highly dangerous pathogens did not review a National Institutes of Health grant that funded a lab in Wuhan, China, to genetically modify bat-based coronaviruses. Doesn't that sound a little, I don't know, thought-provoking maybe? Kind of, begging of questions in that mind? Maybe? So Fauci gets that right on through. No review, but genetically modified bat-based coronaviruses. Didn't he just recently say the coronavirus was from a bat? I think it did. 24 world leaders announce international pandemic treaty to implement Great Reset agenda. Woof, man, all of the videos I've posted, United Nations and our government leaders, Madeleine Albright. Wonder if that video is still on my Never Lose Truth channel. But how she was saying, and this is paraphrase, of course, we need to speed things up. We need to get global cooperation, and we need to do it fast. We've got this window of opportunity, and we're going to rush everything through. And voila, they have. So, this is the revamping of the world via the United Nations. 24. Oh, by the way, Kissinger warns Washington to accept new global system or face a pre-World War I geopolitical situation. Look at this guy. These people are so ugly. Now, when you get to begin to understand, the innards, the soul, or the lack of a person, don't they begin to get really ugly? Look at this creepy, decrepit creep. Kissinger warns us that we've got to accept this new global system. But it was all a conspiracy, okay? It was all a conspiracy. And Biden, Easter message, we share the sentiments of Pope Francis. Getting vaccinated is a moral obligation. Coming from this guy, kind of loses its power, The strength of the message is really just not there. Graham urges Fauci to assess if Biden border policies are creating COVID super spreader event. Funny how we're not hearing that, huh? There ain't no super spreading event. Not March, 172 plus. 172,000 plus came across the border. Could be a super spreader event. But hey, all's well on the border. Arkansas Senate passes emergency clause to immediately and permanently end mask mandates, but the governor is not likely to sign it. Too bad. Abbott announces that he has issued an executive order prohibiting state agencies or political subdivisions in his state from creating vaccine passport requirements. That's cool.
Every day, Texans return to normalcy as more people get the COVID vaccine. In fact, this week, Texas will surpass 13 million doses administered. Those shots help slow the spread of COVID, reduce hospitalizations, and reduce fatalities. But, as I have said all along, these vaccines are always voluntary and never forced. Government should not require any Texan to show proof of vaccination and reveal private health information just to go about their daily lives. That is why I issued an executive order that prohibits government-mandated vaccine passports in Texas. We will continue to vaccinate more Texans and protect public health, and we will do so without treading on Texans' personal freedoms.
Now, it's kind of sad. 13 million vaccinated, and that's going to slow the spread of coronavirus and yada, 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 all the bullshit. Wouldn't it be wonderful to just hear a governor come out and say, what we've been saying what many doctors, thousands, so many thousands, it's frightening. Because you can, well, if you go to Odysee and check out my video that I'll post tomorrow, you'll see how many doctors, how many experts in infectious disease are saying something that I can't say on YouTube, but you know what I mean. So it's kind of like bittersweet listening to that. Yeah. More being told to stay home, but some aren't.
The province of Ontario is now in the middle of a stay-at-home order. But here at the Amazon Fulfillment Center on Heritage Road in Brampton, the site of hundreds of positive COVID-19 cases, you can see people who work here have not stayed at home. In fact, looks like the parking lot is full. You can see the different tents and the measures that they've taken at Amazon, but it is operational. So while just over here in this strip mall, there are stores closed, including a nail and salon place that is not allowed to open, right across the street in the very place where there's been a lot of cases of COVID-19, they remain operational.
And people can't see what's happening here. They can't see, well, the inequality, the redistribution of wealth, the deliberate destruction of the little guy to really make far more powerful the big guy. Well, I say big guy only because, he's minuscule in my eyes. Jeff Bezos, Amazon could stay open. People aren't getting that something's wrong there. Ontarians? You don't get, I don't get it. 246 vaccinated residents diagnosed with COVID, 3 dead, Michigan. Reports. Detroit will send workers door to door to urge residents to get the COVID-19 vaccine. Canada has their own challenge going on. Vaccine Community Innovation Challenge. Vaccine Community Innovation Challenge encourages individuals and/or groups across Canada to help promote vaccine confidence in their communities. Yes, we will train you how to manipulate people to get them to give up their vaccine hesitancy so they get vaccinated. You'll get money for it. So Biden, through 2 federal agencies, one CDC, the other the Department of Health and Human Services, has a mask contest. Canada has a Vaccine Community Innovation Challenge. 20 finalists will receive $25,000, and at the end, the one winner gets $100,000. Yes, how to manipulate to get people to get vaccinated. And people are so excited about doing the wrong thing. So, apparently more people are posting these very strange living organisms in masks and swabs. So I tried to find more information about this on Harold Kaus-Vella on his YouTube. I can't find anything. So if anybody knows, unfortunately, there's not much here. And I'm not going through all of the responses again. Okay, a Marriott hotel pilot is using automated kiosks to check in guests. Okay, guess what? Poised to become the latest coronavirus casualty at some Marriott hotels. Who is the casualty? The desk clerks, the human beings. Touch screens can check in guests and spit out room keys, as well as giant vending machines. grab-and-go marketplaces that can dispense everything from coffee to breakfast sandwiches and cereal. Woo! What a menu. Get rid of the human being. All right. Vaccine passports could be required to enter shops in the UK. What? I thought the UK didn't Boris come out and say, we're not going to do vaccine passports? Didn't I thought. Apparently not. Creating confusion, by the way, is part of the plan. You know, you hear Fauci, who just a couple of days ago said, don't think we're going to get a fourth wave. Things are looking good. And then the next day or 2 days later, he's calling for more lockdowns or something. Okay, right. Okay. In guidance, CDC's guidance, oh, you got to wipe down everything, you know, God forbid you should put your hand on a doorknob. Oh, my God. Wipe it down for the next person. Nay, it's just theater. Don't do it, okay? Because you're not going to catch it that way. Does somebody, all right, am I, do you see something wrong with this? Please tell me yes. IMF, World Bank, and World Health Organization pay no taxes. But they're talking about tax hikes and inequality. And do you not see that we are now being hit in the face every single day with this two-tiered world where those at the top get to live the kind of life we would like to live, but we, the 90%, get to be slaves and destroyed and brought to impoverished, lives. You're not, okay. Nobody. What? Where? How come we can't get people to see something so obvious? Japan comes out and admits it's dumping Fukushima radioactive water into the Pacific Ocean. It's now unavoidable. Japan, you've been doing that for many years. So, did you see this? Prince Philip is dead. He's dead. Oh my God. So now, Prince Philip, you can begin to manifest your dream. The dream. Ooh. He kind of looks like a virus or a pandemic. Yeah. Well, this is what he said in 1988. In the event that I am reincarnated, I would like to return as a deadly virus to contribute something to solving overpopulation. Nothing wrong with the royal family. Wow, aren't they the model of mental health? And, there's so much, wow, man. I mean, check it out. Here we go. Denver bar slammed after requiring proof of vax. So the private sector will take care of the vaccine passport end of things. And that's generally how it goes. Here, Biden to unveil commission on possible expansion of Supreme Court. Okay. House inches closer to enacting slavery reparations. And L.A. seeks to return beachfront land seized from black family in 29. Race-based tax rates, the next step. Do you think they might be gung-ho on getting us to hate one another? To attack one another? Well, I say don't do it. Don't be manipulated by Evil. Evil. Just pure evil. I do want you to see this, though. Here. Black Lives Matter co-founder Patrisse Cullors lands Topanga Canyon compound. Woof! You go, girl! A secluded mini compound tucked into LA's rustic and semi-remote and kind of white area, I believe. Well, if it is still from, well, that was decades ago. Carol, you were there. Okay, forget it. Topanga Canyon was recently sold for a tad more than $1.4 million to a corporate entity that public records show is controlled by Patrice, 37-year-old social justice visionary and co-founder of the galvanizing and, for some, controversial Black Lives Matter movement. Woo! Baby. Nice. This is Patrice.
I also think that it might, I think of a lot of things. The first thing I think is that we actually do have an ideological frame. Myself and Alicia in particular are trained organizers. We are trained Marxists. We are super versed on sort of ideological theories. And
you sure are. Woo! A proud Marxist. Marx didn't give a shit about people, but cared about power. Huh, Patrice. The training you got, did you well, girl. Did you well. Here, interview. Oh, my God. Listen to this.
I am hopeful for Black futures. And I say that because we live in a society that's so obsessed with Black death. We have images of our death on the TV screen, on our Twitter timelines, on our Facebook timelines. But what if instead we imagine Black life? We imagine Black people living and thriving. And
now they can imagine your life as you are living and you are thriving and you make shit up. Man, I could be canceled. All right, cancel me. So, Twitter and the UN screeched obnoxiously at people to stop interrupting women and were rightly trolled into oblivion. Okay. Twitter women, stop interrupting women, stop interrupting women, stop interrupting women. We've gone crazy. Okay. UN women. Well, they are actually far more passionate than Twitter women, because they only did it 5 times. And, well, they did it, 8 times? What's a woman? What's a woman? Stop drinking. Yeah, interrupting is annoying, period. But also, if you repeat the same thing 5 times, I might interrupt you. It's womics and you bigots. Coming from Twitter, the platform that interrupts many conservative women, even bans them from the platform. This is rich. An interruption is usually in order when someone says the same thing over and over and over again. They are intellectual powerhouses. Fix it for everyone. Stop interrupting women. Stop interrupting women. Do you have something meaningful to say? Stop interrupting women. When you're done with whatever this is, make me a sandwich. This is also infrastructure. If you don't know where that comes from, then you missed my video. I think I posted yesterday. Does that mean you will stop silencing and banning us when we state scientific biological facts? Portland decides to get serious about soaring crime rates and agrees to hire more park rangers? It's true. That's true. No joke. Now, book that includes satanic prayer to hate white people being sold at Target. Whew. Yeah. Walker Barnes, the author, begs the Lord to help her hate white people and the nice ones, the Fox News loving Trump supporting voters who don't see color but who make thinly veiled racist comments about those people. I want to hate them. Please, God, let me hate them. This is how sick our country is now. See, that will get promoted. But Dr. Seuss, hey, ban that doctor. He's racist. And ban an awful lot. Hell, get rid of Shakespeare. But this one, no doubt, will be buying a mini compound, Topanga Canyon, may be Patrice's neighbor. You ready for this? For years, the West has relied on so-called chop suey fonts to communicate Asianness in food packaging, posters, and ad campaigns. But such fonts perpetrate problematic stereotypes. It's racist. CNN. Can breathing be racist? According to CNN, I'm sure the answer is yes. Oh, let's cancel it. Also in Spanish, the bold font. Let's cancel it. Also, let's cancel Earth. Well, that's okay. Yeah. Wow. Oh, here we go. Prince Philip. All right, well, I think that's all I have for you. I hope you're okay. How do you think I am? I'm hanging in. I don't have a mini compound, but I'm hanging in.